Yo, yo. So I figured out the problem, which I'm so excited about. I figured out the problem with Facebook and doing my Zoom. Oh, let me turn this down. Mute. All right. So check this out. We're going to be starting in about 30 minutes. Be more training. The 9 rules to get your money right, Grant Cardone style. And yeah, who's got questions? Who's got questions? Who's got questions? Man, I'm so stoked I figured this out because I could not figure it out for the life of me. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in a group. Obviously, we go ahead and get this going. So you could share, you could show up. I'm pulling this up so I can um, see if anybody's got any questions, that type of deal. Share. All right, here, let's keep sharing this bad boy. Share. Hey, if you're on share, we still got a few seconds. So share, share, share. Share. All right, who else? Who else? Let's see. Let's see. What other group should I share this in? While we got a little bit. Who else? Who else? Who else? My plan is to get kicked out of groups. I had one group, they were like, "You are not following the guidelines." I'm like, "Because I won't. I play in the gray. I disrupt. It's what I do." And they still kept me in the group. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm still gonna be a little crazy. All right, so what I'm gonna do is ask you guys to please share, please share. Today, be more training, kind of thrown out there a little bit. It was kind of crazy because my wife is actually gonna run it because I thought I had a call at 11. Things didn't work out, end up getting pushed to Monday, which is all good, but also put me in place to now put on Be More training for all of you, which I'm stoked to do, of course. So yeah, if you do jump on, please share, please like, let me see some love. I'm gonna love it myself. I'm gonna go ahead and click on it. See? So I know what kind of questions. If you're here, go ahead and say you are here and where you're watching this from. Where are you located? What's your state? What's your town? What's your city? I'm sure that's a song. I'm sure that's a song. But yeah, go ahead and drop it below. And then we're going to go ahead and get this party started because I am going to share my screen while you ladies and gents do that. Share. Where is it? Let's see. Transition. Nope. This thing is in the way. And yep. Slideshow. Oh, slideshow from the beginning. Here we go. All right. Check it out. Here we go. Let me move this. All right, cool. Here we go. The 9 rules to get your money right. The 9, actually, let me see if it's I hope it's not private. It's not private. Okay, good. Whoosh. Because they were private in me there for a little while. All right, let's get this going. The 9 rules to get your money right by Grant Cardone. Now, he did have the 10 rules. One rule was don't buy a single family home. I don't really agree with that. But I figured I'd go ahead and mention it at least in case Grant Cardone watches this. He is with EXP now, so I'm sure I will come across his screen. But here we go. I took that off. Grant Cardone, don't kill me. 9 rules to get your money right. Let's go. If you do have questions, oh, here we go. If you do have questions, please drop them as we go forward. All right. And I will give it up to Mr. GC. Look at him looking fly with his collar pop. All right. Now, it's not really pop. Y'all remember when we used to pop them? Used to look like this walking down the hallway. I never popped that thing. Either way, let's see what this says. I made, but how many people I help? The problem is I've never been able to help enough to satisfy my company's begin. Oh, okay. All right. I see you reading. Anyways, this is amazing. And I'm going to go ahead and push it. Grant Cardone, his 10X Growth Conference is absolutely bonkers amazing. And the reason why it is yes, he does have fantastic guests. Yes, he does an amazing job. However, it's the people who are in the audience that we connect with, that we network with, that's been the biggest driver to our success. 10X Growth Con, absolutely, absolutely amazing. All right, and here it is again. I don't do these 9 rules at 100%, so don't go telling on me. These rules do become a filter though, and gives us a base to work off of. Okay. All right. Number one, never spend it until you get it. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? All right. It says when you spend too much money for the month, so you start searching the internet for ways to budget tips or file bankruptcy. File bankruptcy, right? He's already tearing up. There's another quote that goes, lead with revenue. And this is kind of what this whole jam is, right? I want you to never spend it unless you get it. Lead with revenue. And here goes a few examples. Never spend your money before you have earned it. Thomas Jefferson. Lead with revenue. Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. Don't count a deal till you close. Don't count a deal closed until it. So don't count a deal until it closes, until that deed records. You don't have. Oh, I love this one by John Taffer. By the way, if you know John Taffer, go ahead and hit a heart, or let me know if you know who John Taffer is. Dude is amazing. He says you don't have an expense problem. You have a revenue problem. What? That is like game. Oh my gosh, like drop the mic, game changer quote. I love that quote. Listen, you don't have an expense problem, you have a revenue problem. But here's the deal. So many agents and so many business people get into the business, and as soon as they do, they start buying just stuff that literally makes no sense. By buying that, it puts them in a hole immediately, and they're not able to get a return out of that. For example, a lot of real estate agents, they go out and they start buying leads. The conversions to cold leads are 50 to 1, so 2%, right? 2%. 2% is the conversion rate on these things. And yet they buy them like candy, right? Before they actually go out there and talk to the people who already know them, right? Where the conversions are much, much, much higher. That's where they should start, but they don't, right? Because the industry, and as soon as you get your license, you get all these calls of people who are trying to sell you something, and they buy it. And they buy it. They're not leading with revenue, or they're not listening to GC's Uncle GC, not listening to his first rule, which is never spend it until you get it. All right. And that's super, super important, obviously. There's no sense of jumping in the hole willingly in the very beginning, knowing that you won't get a return by whatever you're putting that money. Now, I understand you got to put some money up front, right? Because if you pay attention. I totally understand that, right? Build some accountability, build some pressure, which is awesome. But don't go out buying leads when you have leads in front of you. Number two, the 40% rule. Man, we're going to run right through this if nobody's got questions. If you got any questions, obviously drop it below. Number two, the 40% rule. So what is this? If you do know what this is, jump on, let me know. Let me know if you know what this is right here. I see a few hearts, but just let me know. So the 40% rule. If you get 100% of your money, IRS, let's say, gets 40%, and better believe if you're an employee, you're like one of the highest tax brackets. Like you get taxed like crazy before you even get your check. Let's just say the IRS gets 40%. If you could pay the IRS 40%, shouldn't you at least pay yourself 40%? If you're willing to pay the IRS, and right, the government does so well with our tax money, don't they? They spend it perfectly, don't they? No wasteful spending, I'm sure. So couldn't we bring in that 40% and actually spend it on ourselves? And that's what this 40% rule is. 40% you pay yourself. If this is a business conversation, 40% maybe goes back in the business, right? If it's the profit from the business. But you pay yourself first. You pay yourself first. 20% is what you live on. You don't change your standard of living until the 20% changes. So what does that mean? Your standard of living doesn't change until your 20% changes. What does that mean? So if you're going to make more money, obviously the 20% will increase. If the 20% increases, you get to change your living. This is a pretty cool concept. Apparently, a lot of people, we didn't run the 40% rule. Apparently, a lot of people do run the 40% rule more than I thought till GC made it like a thing to talk about and to do. But a lot of people run it and they do really, really well with it. There are some principles that I'm going to touch a little bit later on that he covers that I think is amazing with the cash that you make. But this is a great rule. It's super simple. If you're going to pay the IRS 40%, why don't you pay yourself 40%? Or right, or invest back into the business, and then your standard of living should be fulfilled within the 20%. Is it going to suck sometimes? Yep. Are you going to feel the pressure? Yep. How many people do you see out there complaining about, no, I can't get no opportunities, or oh man, look at that person who's making money and blah blah blah, but they'll pull out the brand new iPhone, won't they? Right? They got rims on the whip, don't they? They got brand new shoes. Like, how about don't do any of that? The reason why I got this shirt on and people know me for wearing these shirts, and it's another one of his principles, honestly, this is my branded shirt. If I'm going to push something, I'm going to brand it. This right here from our EXP group. Free, and I got paid a commission when I bought this. There's a different mindset you got to take on instead of trying to keep up with the Joneses, besides always trying to keep up with the people in the neighborhood or whatever. Dude, move up in thought, and then move up in profit. 3 actions that will get you to the 40% rule. Number 1, budget or pay attention to your money. Duh. As your money comes in, pay attention to it. Don't think that it goes into Apple's pocket first, right? Wall Street's pocket first. Maybe it goes into your pocket first. Look at it, right? Kind of analyze it, and what can you do to make sure that that dollar gets stretched? Run a P&L on your life. Budgeting and building up capital reserves class is a class I put on, which is an easy P&L for your life, or a profit and loss for your life. You will find, and just like me, when I first started in the business or just started in life, I was in the red every month. But that's when you say, you know what? I got to change. There's something I got to do to change this situation. But if you start running how much are you making, how much money is going out, and you got that 20% gap, cool. And then obviously it says you either will have a lower your standard of living or increase your 100% or the money coming in. Exactly. And that's what that P&L, that building up capital reserves class I do. It's exactly what it is. It's either you build in something to increase your revenue that's coming into your life, or you have to a budget, or both, right? It doesn't have to be an or, maybe it's an and. And then accountability behind that, right? Find somebody who's going to hold you accountable, because you'll let yourself down. Number 3, if you can't write it off, don't buy it. And this is what I was saying. Sounds like a tax write-off to me. I love that. By the way, who loves his videos on YouTube, right? If you can't write it off, don't buy it. If you can't write it off, don't buy it. If you look at me and you see me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, can't see me on Clubhouse, but hey, I'm on there. I'm rocking my merch. It's a write-off, right? What? Everything's a write-off, man. Just know when you go out there mentally, just go in and thinking like, hey, is there a way I could write this off? Obviously, talk to your CPA. Everything I say is dumb. I'm some random guy on the internet. Don't listen to me in terms of this stuff, tax strategy. So recorded, and it's there. All right. If you can't write it off, don't buy it. Here's some stuff. So independent contractor agreement. Now, what is that? That's a 1099. So as people start working with you, 1099 them. Maybe not everybody, but think about that, right? If you bring them in and they're a salary, now you're paying taxes, Social Security, blah, 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 on this person, right? That's what you're doing. And maybe that's not the right way in the beginning. Maybe you need to run a 1099. Maybe you just pay them, and now they're responsible of their own taxes. They're responsible of their own expenses. And you can bring that 1099 to your CPA that I paid this person. Number 2, wear your own brand. Hello, don't suck at life. Obviously, we sell these. Go to TeePublic, proven by Ruben, and you'll find them all there. Vehicles. Can you write off your vehicle? Well, build it as a credit type deal for your CPA. Can you? Have you talked to them about that? Did you just buy a vehicle without talking to your CPA? Was there a way to roll that into underneath your business name? Man, y'all need to increase your circle, the ones you guys are hanging out with. Number 4, man, we are rolling through this. I hope it's live. Usually there's a ton of questions. Listen, Facebook has done this to me before, where it said it was public and then it was really private, or it goes in and out. Anyways, I'll take ownership. I won't blame it on it. It's my fault. My fault. Number 4, stabilize and grow your first flow. Look at that. Look at that. That's concentration right there, baby. That's concentration. Never lose focus again. I love that. Right there. Stabilize and grow your first flow. What does this mean? Don't worry. Oh, my little screen's in the way. Don't work on another flow outside your company. Work on another flow inside your company. What they mean by that is you focus so much on working on something outside the company when maybe your best opportunities are within the company or the group that you currently work on. Now, I understand what he's saying, and I have side hustles, baby. I have side hustles. Here it goes. It says, why have a side hustle for 3 hours when you were in your hustle for 8 hours? See, great points. Listen, great points. And if you don't enjoy your 8-hour day job, or what what brings home money right now as you work on your side hustle, if you don't enjoy that, don't complain about what you tolerate. Move in a position to change it, and maybe it's the side hustle that's going to get you out of that current situation, right? And that's my viewpoint on this. I still have side hustle within our database. We push side hustle. I teach people to push side hustle. As you know, millionaires have what, 7 different levels or 7 streams of income, I believe. Maybe it's less, maybe it's more. Either way, you're going to need play a little bit on that side hustle like we do. Number 5, the 47 rule. What does that even mean? If you work 40 hours a week on your work, you need to focus 7 hours a week on yourself. What are some things you can do to work on yourself? Right? This is too easy. Number 1, sit with yourself. Listen, we can just run through savers, honestly. Silence. Silence, guys. An hour a day for yourself, is that too bad? Silence. Maybe not an hour in silence, but an hour to yourself. And the way that you would do that, maybe is silence, right? Just sit with yourself. Now, for me, that's difficult. I've always had problems with challenges with that. I've tried the Wim Hof method, which worked, honestly, for a little while. What about affirmations? Investing in yourself, right? Grant Cardone has some bomb affirmations in his book, 10X. Visualization. What do you visualize? I'm visualizing the number 1,000 a lot. I'm not going to tell you why, but I am. I'm visualizing it a lot. I'm visualizing it a lot. And that's a big goal of mine. E, exercise. Exercise is another way that you can invest in yourself. You should be exercising. You should be exercising, right? Get healthier every single day. You know, I love PB&Js, but you know what we've done? The jelly and the peanut butter, we got the kind that don't have sugar in it or no added sugar, right? It's little steps. Maybe it's not going out there and lifting 1,000 pounds every day. Maybe it's just little steps. That's what it is for us. It's these little steps that compound, right? And then the S, R, reading, right? I just said that, reading books, or listening to books on Audible. Man, this is pour into yourself stuff. Patrick Bet-David just came out with a book. I think it's the 10 Steps or the 10 something. Amazing book so far. Really good. I'm not finished with it. And then you got scribing. So then you're writing down your goals. Again, for me, it's the 1,000. It's the 1,000. It's the 1,000. These are things that you can do to pour back into yourself. And it goes on. How many of you work 60 plus hours a week? Depends what you define work, right? Because I work every single day. I love it though. If you're complaining about it, stop, right? Don't complain about what you tolerate. There will be a day that you wish you could work. I shouldn't have said that last thing. I totally get what he's saying here. If you're complaining about your work, stop it, because there will be a day that you wish you could work. Oh, what did y'all hear there? Because I'll tell you what I heard there. I heard that you're going to be too old, too frail, too tired to put in the work. I mean, look at our tired current president. This dude is exhausted all the time. Hey, he's standing up though. I guess that's a good thing. He's standing up. But the guy loses focus all the time. He don't even know where he's at. I just saw a video and he started talking and then randomly just stopped talking. And he was like, well, and just talked about something random. I was like, dang. So just don't complain about where you're at. Maybe you'll be at a state that you want to go back to work. You wish you were at that level again. Man, GC, I hear you. Are you bragging or complaining? Oh, I love this, man. I'm gonna go back. I gotta read the 10x rule again. I just love or listen to it. I just love this type of stuff. Are you bragging or complaining? You're working, man. I'm working 60 hours a week. This and that. Oh, cool. Are you bragging about that or are you complaining about that? Oh, I'm the only one right now. And I'm loving this, man. Whatever. I'm doing it for myself. All right. This is one I absolutely enjoy. Number 6, stay broke. We live by this. Stay broke. It says rich people stay rich by living like they are broke. Poor people stay poor by living like they are rich. Think about that. You can't love money for it doesn't exist. It is only a means to acquire goods and services. Different mindsets, guys. This year I'm going to more conventions, more masterminds than I ever have any year, and I'm very, very excited about that because this is the people you surround yourself with. They're constantly thinking different, constantly disrupting. Cash is trash, is what he says. It is worthless until it's put to work. Man, there's so many quotes I gotta listen to 10x all over again. I love this stuff because I made this course a year plus ago. Money is useless until it is put to work. Okay, basically what I just put. If you give it to a bank, what do they do with it? Right, they convert it, turns digital, and they leverage the craziness out of it. You think about this. You give them your money, which is, think about this. You kind of give them a loan. How much interest do you get on that loan? 0%. You just gave it to them. What do they do with that money? They loan it out at an interest rate. So you're giving them an interest-free loan that they then give out attached to interest. All right. And they do that every day, making mad money on your money. Not that this is bad. By the way, we're all putting our money in there. So this isn't a bad on the banks. Hey, good for you, banks. You figured it out. Right? This is not bad on the banks. But check this out. Then they give you an interest for keeping the money in the bank with them. And it's like 0.0000. It's not even a thing. No one looks at that. It just cracks me up. Listen, we live by this because we had cash in a bank account for taxes. Yes, taxes. And when we looked at it, we were like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. However, we had to pay Uncle Sam. Well, we ended up not paying as much as we thought we would have to pay. But then as soon as that happened, we realized that cash is dying. It's trash as it just sits there. He says it perfectly. It is worthless until you put it to work. What's the point? It just sits there. Why? For security? Get out of here. That's fake, right? So we immediately got it, bought an investment property with it, using that money for rehab. And the equity we're going to get out of this investment property, awesome. The cash flow, awesome. But we put the money to work. It's worthless until you put it to work. Man, I live by this. And honestly, again, you got to surround yourself with people who think that way, because if you don't, you're going to surround yourself with people who say, hold on to the cash, save it for a rainy day. You don't ever know what's going to happen. Just save it, please. Why? Where are you at in this whole money game? Look at where you're getting your advice from. Number 7, never lose money. I don't know if I 100% agree with this too. But it says rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. Warren Buffett smiling. Oh, yeah. So, and look at that knot, man. I tell you what, one thing I do miss about dressing up is the tie, and the tie is something that a lot of people hate, but I love the knot. I don't know what it is. And if you look at, I got a tattoo right here of a guy suited up, but his knots, knot. I don't know what it is. Anyways, I can lose focus super quick. Anyways, never lose money. Here's the deal. I've lost a lot of money, man. Even back when I didn't have a lot of money, and even losing a certain amount of money that maybe wouldn't hurt now, definitely hurt back then. And that's because we were trying new ventures, right? I remember I tried MMA Ammo was a company I started up. It was a sole proprietor, wasn't really a company, but we were an affiliate marketing business that would sponsor fighters and younger kids who are in jiu-jitsu and stuff. You think I lost money? Man, I bought a screen printing thing. I bought a heat press thing so we can make merchandise, t-shirts, ink, uh, every everything that's involved with that, man. I lost money, but I think I learned a lot. I had my buddy Brandon with me who would also paint on it. I mean, like hand paint on it for the fighters. But in the long run, we did. We lost money and whatever, right? I learned from it, made a great friend, great friends. It was a good thing. So if you do lose money, just make sure you gain a friendship. If you're sitting on cash, are you losing money? Yes. If your money is sitting in a bank, are you losing it? Yes. I see where he's going with this. Think we're going to negative rates? Banks charge you to hold the cash? That's a good question. What do you guys think if you're watching this? Do you best to ensure a return? Do your best to ensure a return and then run the numbers. We pay on results. All right. So what did he just basically say? What he said is that if you're not putting your money to work, it's dying. You're literally losing money. You're losing money. And I know it's on a slide coming up, but because of inflation is eating up your money. Mattress money is not a thing anymore. It doesn't gain or even retain its value. It decreases in value as it sits there because they're printing more money. Called quantitative easing. Sounds super nice, doesn't it? No. It is creating more cash, which is devaluing the dollar. It's dying. Put it to work. And that's kind of what he's saying. Number 8, you want cash flow and not cash. What does that mean? Put your money to work. Man, he's heavy on this, right? Don't let it just sit there. Put it to work. Cash isn't king. Cash flow is king. And here's the cash flow quadrants. E, employee. And we've all seen this, right? I trust that we've all seen it. If you have not seen this, go get the book by Robert Kiyosaki. But cash flow quadrant. You have a job. There is no leverage. You literally you trade your time for money. And that's the little picture right there. You trade your time for money. When you show up to work, you get paid. If you don't show up to work, you don't get paid. That's an employee. Self-employed. You create a job. Guess who is doing the job? The employed guy, the self-employed guy. Yes, he or she has stepped out on their own. Awesome. Not saying it's made for everybody, but for the people who do, awesome. You stepped out on your own. But understand, you are the boss and the employee. You're the boss and the employee. If you don't show up to work, you don't get paid. Maybe you were working for a plumbing company and now you broke off and built your own plumbing company. But now you're getting the calls. Now you make those service calls. Now you have to show up. Now the client pays you in your business because you're self-employed. But again, if you don't show up, you don't get paid. Then you got B, the business owner. People work for you. You've created that plumbing company, and now you've hired someone because you're getting those calls. You really want to keep the service going high. You want to create profit. You've hired someone, and now that person goes out there and services the deals. While you are on the back end working on the business and not in the business. You're creating more opportunity for the employees. You're creating more opportunity for the business. You're creating more leads, marketing. Where are we going next? Should I hire somebody new? You were the visionary. But now you have people who are creating money for you. And right there, it says people works people works for you. People work for you. And there's leverage. Exactly. I, the investor. Thank you. I have literally went through this whole thing. And it is 7 years in this real estate game. 7 years. And I'll say year late 5 to 6, I started to do the investor thing. It's a grind every day to get to this. For me, to get to this level, there are much smarter people than me. So now the money works for you. What does that mean? Everything he's been saying. Make the money work for you. Make the money work for you. Make the money work for you. Passive income. This is our pass play. Look in this description below. I got a link to it. How do you use your real estate license as passive income? How can you leverage that with no liability, no overhead, 100% leveraged, passive? Our real estate investments, we run short-term rentals. We just closed one yesterday. Of course, we got to rehab it. We just found out there's mice and roaches, and it's gross. But whatever, the equity is going to be great. It's going to take work, weird, but once it is up and running, investment. We put a manager's involved. We don't deal with that. Just get the cash flow. Revenue share with EXP. The investor side is way, way more passive, and you can spend the time doing the things you enjoy. I love this. Here's another reason why you don't want cash, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Here's inflation. So 2010, it was floating around 1.6%. Look at this, 2011, 3%. So your money, if you had $100, $3 just went away. Whew. Think about that. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then it drops to 2%, 1%. Look at that. Ooh, 2015. Nice. Would have liked 0, but I'll take 0.1%. Boom, back up. Boom, 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 boom. 2020. Look at this. 2021. So here's projections. Why? Now, why is it going back up to these high levels? Because they're printing money. Inflation is killing our money, right? Because they're printing it. You got more diamonds, they're not worth as much. You don't have a lot of diamonds, they're worth a lot. Supply and demand, simple. So here's inflation going back up. Cash is not king, cash is not king. Heck no. Put it in an investment that definitely kicks off more than 2%. Matter of fact, if you have an investment that kicks off 2%, then you are flat. Your money's not dying, but it's not growing either. 3%, I don't even know. Man, you got to float 7. You want to be good? 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%. That's what you should be looking at. That's the return you should be looking at. This is terrible, man. Number 9, never quit until you reach your goals. I love this guy. Who doesn't love this guy? Set a goal so big that you can't achieve it until you grow into the person who can. I am going to have to post that quote. Oh man, that one's because you don't even believe. I mean, you believe, but it's so far away, you almost don't believe it. And what you do, you have to become the person that has to do those things and get those things, you know? Whew. If someone's not laughing at your goals, they're not big enough, totally. I get what they're saying there. We definitely have had people who don't laugh, but they're just like, shake their head and be like, whatever, man, good luck. It ain't gonna happen. Okay. I want to set goals so big that we don't reach them, but exceed any limitations we put on ourselves, because your mindset may have been on what's probable and not what's possible. Who are you really giving up on when you give up on your goals? Think about that. You give up on your goals, who are you really giving up on? Because it's not just you. This thing is much bigger than you, and you're selfish to think it's just you. I was reading a quote, and I'm going to chop it all up, of course, but it says something like, if you're comfortable, you're selfish. If you're comfortable, you're selfish. You must Not all the time, I get it, but dang, man, every single day you should be doing something that's very uncomfortable. Every single day. Don't complain because you see other people doing it and you find a reason to say that's why you can't. Get up and do something uncomfortable every day. Don't give me a problem, give me a solution. Yeah, don't give me a problem, give me a solution. With every obstacle, there's an opportunity. Yeah, with every obstacle, there's an opportunity. Of course. Of course. And that's the thing, man. Life tests you. You said you wanted success? Okay, obstacle. Oh, you stopped there? You don't want success. Oh, shoot. He jumped over the obstacle. All right, here's another. Dang, he climbed under, or he dug underneath it. Oh, obstacle. He says he really wants it. Let's see. Okay, he's going around it. He's going around it. Oh, obstacle. This should hold him back for a while. There you go. Climbing up it. Life says, man, this guy or gal really wanted it. I'll tell you what. Here's the reward. Man, some of y'all are so afraid of obstacles. And that's it. Some of y'all are so afraid of obstacles. Why? It is the only way. It's the only way. Some of y'all spend more time complaining about where you're at than finding the solution to get out of where you're at. And you're talking and looking at a guy, been there, done that. Been there, done that. I could care less about your excuses. I have no time for it. My family doesn't have time for it. My goals don't have time for it. My people that surround me don't have time for it. You can talk that excuse in the mirror because that's what you're doing. You look down on me, that's you looking in the mirror. You find a flaw in yourself. That's all it is. That's all it is. All right, I'm out of here. It is 10:05. We ran through this super quick. I'm excited about that. If you learned something, comment below. If you want one of these t-shirts, Don't Suck at Life, link in the description. And of course, I got so much more on my YouTube channel. Please go check it out, how we invest, some of the challenges we have with investing, what's profit share versus revenue share, what's this, what's that, a really cool mix of business stuff. Go check it out. My point, the whole reason I'm here is to give value to you, and you can get it at any time. You can get it any time. No matter where you're at, just hit play. And let's see what else. Hit me up on Instagram, LinkedIn. Let's just say Instagram. Clubhouse. Clubhouse has been awesome. I'm a moderator for like 5 or 6 different groups right now, all real estate, investing, business stuff. But I'm here for you, but you got to meet me halfway. Reach out. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns, comments. And then I'm going to hold you accountable. I will find something. We'll talk about it. Then meet me halfway, man. Just put in the work. We'll meet like this, and I guarantee we can make something happen. But till then, I'm out of here. I don't know how to hit stop. Oh, there it is. End. All right. Till then, I'm out of here. Adios.